Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Hello Digital. In this channel, we'll discuss on various digital concepts. We'll start with RPA. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year to all. Hope this year brings a lot of good health and happy learning. In this video, we'll discuss on what is RPA or Robotic Process Automation. We'll try to understand the definition of RPA with an example. So what is the definition of RPA? Robotic process automation is the process of configuring a software tool using sequence of actions combined with logics or rules to automate business process flow by mimicking the steps how human ideally would have performed it or processed it. This RPA software is also known as virtual worker or digital worker or simply bots. So does it mean that this software robot will completely replace human? The answer is no. Human would be required for the exception management scenarios. We'll try to understand this in the later part of the video. Now let us try to understand the different blocks of the RPA definition. The first block is configure software. Why configure software? We are saying this because to work with RPA, we need not be a coding geek or an expert. Even though RPA tool provides the feature to customize the tool using popular coding languages like .NET or C Sharp, but for most of the simple business processes, we might not need to do any coding. This is mainly because of the RPA tool, which by default provides inbuilt activities or you can say features to interact with different applications and interfaces. These features are basically drag and drop wizards. Some of the RPA tool even have recording technologies, which can simply record user actions on the computer system. User actions like opening internet browser or opening any applications and um, capturing or reading information from the application or even writing or typing applications into the system or into the application, etc. etc. Once recorded, the RPA tool automatically creates a series of activity steps which can be played back to mimic the actions that the user just performed during the recording. This definitely makes the automation of the business processes a lot easier and faster. So as we understood the first block, let's move to the next block, that is sequence of action. In the last section, we decided or we discussed that we configure RPA using a sequence of activities or actions. These actions help us to interact with various applications like browser-based applications or Windows-based applications, Excel's, email clients like Outlook, SAP applications, mainframe applications, or even virtual clients like Citrix, etc. etc. This sequence of actions are mostly either triggered by an event or scheduled at some time frame. Now let us understand this with an example process. In our process, the client receives the order confirmation from vendor via email. The client then read order details from the email, let's say Outlook. Then the client finally enters the order detail collected from the Outlook into an ERP system, let's say SAP. Please note that this process in real time has a lot of complex steps or logics. But for our RPA understanding, we have considered these simple steps for the process. Now let's see how bot will perform these actions. So in this example, the first action is an event-based trigger, which means whenever an order confirmation email arrives in the mailbox of the client, the next sequence of actions will be performed. In the next action, the bot will read order details from the Outlook using inbuilt Outlook activities, which are simple drag and drop activities provided by the RPA software. Please note, these activities might be different for different type of email clients. Similarly, in the next step, using inbuilt SAP activities, the bot will write or type information into the SAP application. So as we saw, the bot has followed a sequence of steps to mimic the way how client would have processed the order confirmation request. Now let's move to the next block, which is logics or rules. The logics or rules or decision points are used by a bot to decide which sequence of steps to be performed. Now let's see what happens if there is something missing or incorrect information in the order details. In the same process flow, now we have a decision point where bot verifies the order details after reading from Outlook. If the order details are correct, it will write the order details in the SAP application. But if the order details are not correct, then it will send re-verification email request to vendor. Again using inbuilt Outlook activities available in the RPA software. Here, the decision box is called business rule and the negative decision flow is basically called business exception. Business exceptions are always handled. As we see here, on gathering incorrect information, the bot knows that it has to send a verification request back to the vendor. But there are technical exception scenarios as well. For instance, the bot could not read details from the email or write details into the SAP application, maybe due to some unexpected pop-up or application freezing, or maybe some scenario which is not being configured. Which is the bot is not being configured to handle. Such requests where bot faces technical exception would be processed manually by human, which we were talking previously in the video. We'll look into various exception handling in our future videos. So in this way, RPA helps in automating a business process by mimicking human actions. Basically, there are two types of automation. One is semi-assisted automation, where some of the actions in the process are taken care by human and remaining actions are automated using RPA software. For example, if we have a process where input is handwritten document, then extraction of data from these documents are mostly taken care by human and the remaining process steps are automated using RPA software. The next type of automation is full automation, where all actions in the process are automated using RPA. Basically, rule-based processes, business processes, which basically strictly follow some rules, are mostly easily will fall into the full automation category. Great. This brings us to the end of the video. I hope you liked the video. In our future videos, we'll learn more on RPA. Please like and subscribe for more videos on RPA. Thank you for watching our video.